the college farewell tour, which is one of the top three, if not top five, indicators that prove that just confirms summer is slowly but surely, sadly, coming to an end. So, therefore, all of my young adult Sandy Ridge friends who are no longer in the middle school, the high school levels of educate of the education department in terms of going to school that are now in the big boy and big girl department of college, will get their, proper send off they deserve. And there's some that were part of it in years past that, no longer are part of it because they're done with college. Whether they are not, they go to grad school. But we don't need a college farewell tour for grad school because that's just a optional bonus feature if people choose to use it. So therefore, I know there's some recipients that chose to use it, but we're not gonna say farewell to them for that because anybody can do that and anybody can do that if they want to, and anybody doesn't have to do that if they don't want to. So today's the first episode of which today's recipient leaves early tomorrow morning, the same day as the second recipient's proper send off. So more on her a little later when we close this out. But today is all about the crotch of doom, Dave Allen Baker's oldest daughter, his Elliot Sadler, 21-year-old daughter, Dalen Elizabeth Baker, which we're gonna get her school correct this time because last year we filmed her episode, we had to make a little modification, even though I didn't know it until after I recorded last year's episode. You want to go look at that link in the description. So she takes off to her senior year at John Carroll University. Yes, John Carroll, everybody. No more, and she transferred from Walsh University after her sophomore year, where she met her current husband slash boyfriend Nate Albright. And even though she no longer goes to Walsh and now goes to John Carroll, she's stuck with them like thick and thin. She is a dedicated girlfriend to him, even with transferring to different colleges. I mean, to be fair, I think she transferred the same year he graduated at the college he was originally at where they met. So it wasn't that big of a deal. They were still going to see each other no matter what. So there was nothing to be sad about. But anyway, we're about to get dinner at Texas Roadhouse. We will check and see on the way out if, Dalen showed up. And if she did, we'll get dinner. Well, whether she did or not, we'll get dinner together. Well, whether she is back at home by the time we leave the house and cut for dinner to get to the Texas Roadhouse and come back, we will get dinner together. I mean, we'll eat real quick and then give her some time to settle in, give her the phone battery time to charge up to a high enough percentage, and then we'll be on our way. So I will meet you all in the car when we get ready for Texas Roadhouse, and I'll have a slight update on why there has been too many YouTube videos this summer. I mean, there has been a few of them in general this summer, but not much Sandy Ridge content, and then I'll explain that. Actually, I don't have to explain it in this video. I'll save it for a separate video when we do an end of summer recap video as to why there was not too much Sandy Ridge content as there was in years past, where even during the summer 2023 abomination, there was a lot more Sandy Ridge content than there has been. This hasn't been a terrible summer, but it hasn't been all that. It hasn't been great either. It hasn't been all bad, no, but it hasn't been all sunshines and rainbows. It's not all bad with the summer as a whole. Sandy Ridge are not Sandy Ridge stuff, but the Sandy Ridge part, guess what? It hasn't been all sunshines and rainbows. So just we will have some lackluster seasonal productions sometimes. Just like how winter was lackluster this past season, and not what I'm saying is, not every seasonal production of spring, summer, fall, and winter is going to be goated or a banger. That's why whenever those goated / banger seasons happen, it makes it special because it's not all the time. Because if it kept happening over and over and over again every single fucking year, it wouldn't be as special. It would be less meaningful, and it would not be as exciting, or and it would lose its luster and you wouldn't appreciate it as much. So that's why you always get to appreciate those kind of goated banger seasons every time it happens, because it doesn't happen all the time. But I'm wasting too much time rambling and yapping away, so let me get my fucking shoes on, go to the bathroom, tuck in my jersey, and we'll be on our way.
More moments later.
Well, we went in both directions, leaving to go get the food and coming back home with the food was little, dish you see before you that I'm about to feast on and tear that shit up like Texas Terry Labonte and Rock and Roll Jeopardy. Let's get a glamper of the A1 logo just to troll her dad, the Crotch of Doom, aka in this case, the #1 hater of A1 steak sauce. Hey, Dave Allen Baker, Crotch of Doom. Look at this shit. Look at this goated shit that you hate so fucking much, and I don't understand why. So I'm about to go feast on this son of a bitch. Therefore, but on a serious note, going both ways, to go get the food and coming back home with the food, nobody was there. So the Crotch's truck and Sir Black's car was there, and I think they took Jerry Springer lady's van. They took her van, and of course Day Day's car wasn't there. So we're gonna be a while. So we're gonna have to wait a hell of a lot, until it's time to go say goodbye and get on with the real part of this video. So we are about to go to town on this, and then we'll rest and relax for a little bit, or maybe maybe more than that, like a little while, and then whenever we feel like we waited long enough, we'll look outside our bedroom window and see if anybody's there, like the one car we gotta look for, that silver Focus, and then we'll go say goodbye, do our little interview, and then 50-50 chance that TikTok gets done, and that'll be the end of this video. So we're going to pause for channel identification while we tear this shit up like Texas Terry Labonte. Sorry, Crotch of Doom. I know you're the #1 hater of A1 steak sauce, but this shit is goated. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about hating on such the greatest condiment of all time. But anyway, we'll pause for channel identification, and Terry Skinner Senior Rusty Park Sprague.
6.5 hours later.
Operation Say Farewell to the Crotch of Doom, Dave Allen Baker's 21-year-old daughter, Dalian Elizabeth Baker, for her senior year at John Carroll University. Well, would you look at that? The car is there. Let's fucking go. This is what we practice all week for. What the fuck did the jackass in the booth say in NASCAR Thunder 2004? This is what we practice all week for. Let's see who can win the race within the race. That's the line. That's the line. Okay, here we go. Okay, there's cars here, but it doesn't mean people are there. So we're gonna keep walking around. They probably took Jerry Springer lady's car or something. I saw them earlier today loading shit up in the back when we were taking off to my mom's school to help her set up her classroom for the upcoming 2025-26 school year / seasonal calendar that runs from the fall all the way to fall of the ending year to the spring of the beginning of the beginning year of the end of the all these seasonal calendars work. They start in the fall, like when the calendar year, the current calendar year is about to end. But when we get to the second half of the season, that school year, the seasonal calendar, when we just fall based on a seasonal calendar, it's like going to the second half of winter and all of spring of the new, of the beginning of the new calendar year. So, if you've been paying attention to this, if you're someone who's been paying attention to these metrics for the longest time, then you definitely would understand without a doubt. But for those who haven't been following it, then yeah, it's understanding why you would be confused. So, if I don't see any open garages or active movement over that house in turn 1 at the Crotches, but other than the stupid ass dog, by 8:30 the earliest, 8:35 to 8:40, 8:30, no, 8:15, no, 8:15 is too soon. It's almost 8:15. 8:30 the earliest, 8:45 the latest. then we're just gonna say fuck it and leave a video recorded message and call it a day, call it a night. So therefore, we've done this before as like a backup plan, so it'll be okay either way. Okay, we've only completed one lap. Okay, that's not the crotch, that's Debbie and the Rogersons. So here's what the plan is gonna be. Checkpoint number one will be whatever time, wherever lap, whatever pass through is closest to 8:30. Then that'll be the first checkpoint, and if there's still nothing, then our next checkpoint will be 8:45. We're using our curfew time limits as college farewell tour checkpoints to check and see if the recipient is home or not, let alone even if they are home, we always got to check to see if he or she is available. And if 8:45 is a no-go, we're just going to stand in the yard. I'm not getting the fucking street sign. Wait. We're going to do like we've done in the past when college farewell tour recipients are not home in the active moment and there's not enough time to wait for them to come home to give them an in-person farewell. Then what we will do is, I hope we don't have to come do this, because the last time we were about to do this, we somehow got lucky at the last second by a miracle out of hell. We will stand in that driveway. I think we were about to. We planned it last year and it still worked out. So will it happen? Will history repeat itself? Because right now it's heading in a direction where I'm at 3 or 4 day recording this. So if we happen to not see her at a time limit, they're not back at a time limit for me to say goodbye to her in person, then we'll go in the yard and leave a video recorded message, call it a night, and wrap up this video. So I just want to let you know what the fuck's going on when it comes to the first episode of the College Farewell Tour 2025 in Sandy Ridge for the most iconic younger neighbor in Sandy Ridge, Dalen Elizabeth Baker.
The dream ended and reality set in.
Okay, so Duke and Peyton just got home. And I got the bad news. Apparently she moved into her dorm today, and it was not tomorrow, she had told me. Maybe she got, I don't know. People have been doing this for a long time. They tell you one thing, but then they do something completely different. But I'm not blaming this on her. Probably some mix-up or whatever. But anyway, so therefore, we're going to cut off the video with the video recorded message. So, Dalen Elizabeth Baker, my God, what can I say? You have been one of my most iconic neighbors and friends in Sandy Ridge since the very beginning, and OG Sandy Ridge in late 2015 when I was Elliot Sadler 21, about to be Wood Button 22, when I was living La Vida Labrats with Kelly Berglund. So, with that being your senior year of college, I gotta say, you've grown up from a nice young lady, and back in middle school to a nice, beautiful, grown-up young woman, about to be a senior in college and about to graduate come May 2026. So I hate that this mix-up caused me to miss you in person, considering I should have known when I saw you guys loading up Jerry Springer Lady's van that you were leaving today. But unfortunately, I did not have enough time to figure that out, because I had to help my mom move into what the fuck, I'm getting this confused with your college shit. I had to help my mom set up her classroom to get ready for the school year for 2025-26, and she's a teacher in an elementary school named Holy Name. So I wanted to wish you nothing but the best in your senior year, and that if TikTok's still around and not gone by the time you come home forever and are no longer going to college, by season 6 of Fun in the Sun, that we can finally be friends on there as a celebratory way of celebrating you to graduating from college after you turned Wood Button 22 years old. But I know your dad likes to say that was his number before Ward's, but Ward did a lot more in the 22 than your dad did, and even more than Scott Wimmer. But don't fucking tell him I said that. But best of luck at John Carroll, and congratulations on your husband, Nate Albright, for graduating from your previous alma mater, your OG alma mater, to say, Walsh University. See you next year for season 6 of Fun in the Sun, and season 5 of Spring is in the Air. God bless you, Day Day. Okay, that checkpoint concept became absolutely useless. Very useless indeed. So episode 1 of the College Farewell Tour took a weird turn of events. It was a little anticlimactic, I know. For once, I get to use that word in the most proper way, because this was an anticlimactic episode of the College Farewell Tour and a anticlimactic YouTube video. The ending was the biggest anticlimactic part, I should say, not park, Jesus Christ. But episode 1 turned out to be a little bit of a flop. But if I had not been so wrapped up on helping my mom set up her classroom for the new school year, I would have been here a hell of a lot earlier. And it was, even without the classroom stuff, I would have had no way of knowing, because my dumbass would have been up the gutter still thinking it was tomorrow rather than actually it was today. So Duke and Peyton confirmed that she left today. And I guess we'll try this again tomorrow. At least tomorrow I know is going to go a hell of a lot better. Kelsey and Kaylee went by, and Michelle and Kennedy's mom went by. So therefore, we will see you guys tomorrow for episode 2 of the College Farewell Tour, saying goodbye to the Jared's babysitter, McKenna Satterley. Now, here's how that one's going to go. This is going to be a little different. So, you know how we started those channel blocks 2 years ago with the whole Saturdays on Saturday thing, where it was normally on Friday night show on Disney Channel 2 years ago, even though the show was called Saturdays, which was the name of the fictional skating rink, which is how we met one of our ultimate favorite actresses, Missy Fierro, and her husband Mike, Chicago Bulls fans being from Chicago, so they always think of me when the Bulls play the Spurs. Well, since we decided to be creative, and since this was when we were starting to get burnt out with the TV stuff, we decided to DVR the Friday episodes of real time and DVR and watch them on Saturday overnight going into Sunday morning, the crack of dawn. So these two of these episodes of the College Farewell Tour this year will be channel blocks. Coming in clutch Friday channel block as part of the more count as a College Farewell Tour episode. 70% of it will be College Farewell, 30% of it will be coming in clutch. And the day before the Pepsi 400, because I already have a solution for what I'm going to do, and I'll get to that momentarily. That's the last thing I'll address. So the day before the Pepsi 400, we go to Avon and Turd 2 to say goodbye to Natalie. We're going to be playing Pig, considering since Abby and I, her older sister that I'm besties with, who finally finished school together here. She had the first senior year of college last season. Since we played Horse for the 2022 College Farewell Tour, which didn't count as a channel block, it was more like 60% College Farewell, or 40% was 60% Garra Acción y Sudor, 40% College Farewell Tour. And like I said, every year is different. This is a perfect example of that. This is going to be a little different. Since Abby and I did Horse, I decided it would be fair if Natalie and I did our own version with Pig, and we make it a channel block, where it's Garra Acción y Sudor, College Farewell Tour Special, College Farewell Tour Special, Pig with Natalie Ulary, something like that. I'll have to figure out a fancy thing, a fancy way of coming up with a really good fancy ass title. So, so that was unfortunate that, me and Dalen had a mix up and caused me to have a miscommunication, but she will be back forever starting next season. So, therefore, and what we're going to do for these 2 College Farewell Tours, though, which are 2 of them are on race days. So for tomorrow's episode, when we come home from work, we're not going to relax like we normally do when it's too early to go outside usually. We're going to charge our battery at work all day long during coming the Clutch Friday at work, off-camera version. We'll come home, rush out here, and then we're going to walk around until, break the gun in half and Carrie get back. I know it was more Brad's rule than Carrie's. Brad says if he and or Carrie, either or both are not there, I can't be there. And I don't know why I know a lot of parents had that rule back in Sandy Ridge back in the day, but then got rid of it because the kids got older and I became more of a responsible adult. But I can understand why they still have it, because Braxton may be a big boy now, a little bit of big boy now, but he's still a little too young, and his little siblings have a long way to go. So I could see why, but if you're going to have that rule, then how about be consistent by having it apply to everybody and not just select people? But that's neither here or there. So what we're going to do for McKenna's episode tomorrow, since the truck race is out Richmond tomorrow day, we'll come out here, take care of business, say goodbye, do our TikTok, do it flicks, whatever, get some social media follow so we can stay in touch for the Saturday and beyond. We'll take a shower, put our pajamas on, put on a hammerkack, and get ready for the truck race. Since we're going to be able to do this early enough and have enough time to relax before the truck race, we get to do both. Like it's 2015, 2016, we were 21 and 22. We could go outside, watch the Spurs and NASCAR all in one go, or like do two of the three or all three. If I got to go outside and the Spurs and NASCAR are at the same time, this is getting too long. If the Spurs and NASCAR are both on the TV at the same time, or if one or the other was on the TV and the other one wasn't. So since we're going to have enough time to spare, enough time gap distance, then we're going to be able to do it all. Even though we're 31, it's going to be like old times. Even going to be like 2021 when during that COVID vaccine shortened NBA season, the 72 games that went into March and April of regular season play, where we get to play outside, we come home, we're still, we still have a little bit of energy, and we get to watch the Spurs, which was on my sister's, I think it was her Jeff Green 30th birthday. We played outside with the neighbors and came home and watched the Spurs play the Hornets in San Antonio at SBC Center, even though we lost miserably, even though we did keep it competitive most of the way till the Hornets got the better end of the stick at the end and pulled away. But yeah, we'll get to watch the truck race tomorrow and with the college farewell tour. So we'll record that video and upload it, and we'll do a truck series race review. And the Spurs schedule was released today, so I will have a video on that on Sunday, and that one may be a little ranty for reasons that you might already know about on my other platforms like Facebook and TikTok and Instagram. But so now here's the other part for the race day. So Natalie Ulari's College Farewell Tour episode is the day of the Pepsi 400 at Daytona, Saturday, August 23rd. So what we're going to do is hopefully she'll be available early enough. We're going to have to find a way to set up a time. We'll have to stop over there before, in advance, to set up a time where I can say, but even if we have to do it close to race time and I'm too tired to watch it, okay, fine, it's not the end of the world. I mean, but you just go rest and not wear yourself out. But what I'm hoping to do, what the main plan is that I'm aiming for, is that we wake up and go to bed early in a timely manner, get whatever college farewell tour stuff we need to get done beforehand, before the Natalie Ulari one. We'll get the video done, come home, take a shower, put our pajamas on, put on maybe a Nemechek or a Dylan hat, and then rest, relax, and go downstairs, watch the Pepsi 400 at Daytona, and give a race review. Now, if it becomes a demo derby shit show, and it becomes down to the wire with the caution flag restart or overtime or some bullshit like crazy end of race bullshit like that, we'll also record our live reaction. So we have a lot of content in store. What has been a lackluster summer in Sandy Ridge, and it's best so we finish strong and end it with a bang. So then the Lorain County Fair Adventures will return on August 24th is the day she leaves. All that stuff I described what we're going to do with Natalie Ulari and the Pepsi 400 is going to be the 23rd. So the 23rd, we're going to do all that stuff. Natalie Ulari's College Farewell Tour episode, and then the Pepsi 400. Then the 24th, Lorain County Fair Adventures makes a return. Jesus Christ, man, I can't get anything right at times in these videos. So I will see you all tomorrow for McKenna Satterley's College Farewell Tour episode, which will be episode 2 of the 2025 edition. So have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Good night. And I will see you all tomorrow for episode 2 of the College Farewell Tour for McKenna Satterley. And good luck to one of my most iconic neighbors in the happiest place in Northeast Ohio. We call it Sandy Ridge, Galen Elizabeth Baker, on her senior year at John Carroll University, and her future with her boyfriend/husband from her OG alma mater in the college department, Nate Albright. See you next year, Day for season 5 of Spring is in the Air and season 6 of Fun in the Sun. See you later, everyone.